The police chief in Queen Creek promising additional changes. It's been nearly a year since 16-year-old Preston Lord was fatally beaten outside a Halloween house party.
Chief Randy Brice is explaining what they have learned in the past year and what they can do better. He sat down with our true crime correspondent, Brianna Whitney. So what is he saying tonight?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of emotion behind all of this and a lot of people wondering, hey, it's almost Halloween. I can't believe it's been a year. What comes next? It really is still an emotional topic for the police chief to talk about. But with Halloween parties on the horizon and after a year of criticism of how this tragic accident and incident was handled, he says they do have plans in place.
Nearly a year later, but painful emotions remain just as raw for Queen Creek Police Chief Randy Brice.
This is this was a tragedy that we did not expect, we did not want.
October 28th, 16-year-old Preston Lord brutally attacked by a group of 17 to 20-year-olds at a Halloween party, dying from his injuries days later in the hospital. Eventually, the department released 911 calls from that night, where frantic callers are expressing concern.
Someone's gonna get hurt, someone's gonna get killed.
We're approaching Halloween parties that will inevitably happen again. How do you change your protocol so that what happened last year doesn't happen this year?
The information that's out there is, again, a little misconstrued. Officers didn't leave out of control party or anything like that, responded appropriately. All the 911 calls that were really associated with the activity that kicked up there was post-event.
Just last month, County Attorney Rachel Mitchell stood by Chief Brice, proposing tougher laws to fight teen violence and so-called swarming. They say that's when a group of kids teams up to beat someone else, exactly what happened to Preston. And it's something they say is on the rise, with teens posting the attacks online.
People are posting a lot of things on social media instead of calling us.
His message, call 911, but he knows he's up against a social media age.
Kids will still post on social media. You say call 911, but the reality is this will probably happen. So will there be officers who will be specifically patrolling and looking and monitoring social media in these timeframes?
Yes, in general, we and other agencies are creating these spaces where real-time crime centers or real-time information centers are going to be more in the real time of monitoring certain things.
But Chief Brice says people often don't realize how difficult it is for them to access information online.
A lot of this stuff is in spaces where it's not public. They're either in like Snapchat groups or different closed groups, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or whatever it might be. They think that we can get a warrant and suddenly get everything. Privacy laws and different things, the way these platforms work, the stuff is not there forever.
These 7 people were arrested months after the attack, facing charges for Preston's murder. And Chief Brice is aware several of them recently bonded out of jail. He respects the legal process, but knows it's long and frustrating to everyone who wants to see justice for Preston as quickly as possible.
We will do our very best to make sure that people get their due for what they've done. And within the confines of the process, that's all I can do. I don't know that we'll ever get over it, but we do have to move forward.
Chief Brice says they've focused on going to schools, churches, and community activities to try and get the messaging to teens and kids specifically that if they see something wrong or dangerous, don't hesitate or post online and instead call 911 immediately. He also says as the town of Queen Creek continues to grow, so does their police department, with dozens more officers to help patrol as well, more this year than last year.
You brought up such a valid point, though, when you were asking the chief, the goal is to call 911, right? When you have teenagers and you have your cell phones, they're not going to immediately go to that.
No, I mean, you can say that all you want, and it's true. You do want to call 911. But in reality, a lot of these teens also worry about the fear of retaliation. They want to stay anonymous, so they're posting through different mediums to get it online where you can't identify who's actually posting it. And they're aware of that. But also something important to note here is that pictures, videos online are very helpful when they're sent to the police, but that's merely a lead. It doesn't mean that they can just go and arrest somebody after seeing it online. They need other corroborating information that then goes with those posts. So it's not just a quick, oh, look at that video online, let's go arrest that person. There's a lot more to it.
And they have piles of it to use as evidence in these cases. Brianna, thank you.
Yeah.